Hello everyone, my name is Ahumza Edgar K from Nyakasura School. I'll be their first speaker. Alongside me is Atoya Morin will be our second speaker, then Ryonga Martin will be our third speaker, and then Kaseja Edwin will be our fourth speaker.
Hello everyone, my name is John Baptist Arnitwe. Along with me is Lusunzo John Mary, Asinja Mika Pasco and Okiria Michael, and this is Team St.Mary'S College Lugazi.
Well, we're here for the high school Crossfire, and this is Nyakasura School. We are debating against St.Mary'S College Lugazi under the resolution, the development of renewable energy resources should take precedence over expanding the oil and gas infrastructure. And we hope that the best team may win. Thank you.
We are going against Nyakasura School under the resolution, the development of renewable energy sources should take precedence over expanding oil and gas infrastructure. I really expect a win in this debate because we have done enough research. We are really ready for this and we expect a win.
House rules. Each speaker has 5 minutes. The first and last minutes are protected. The judge will ring a bell to signal the protected time. The bell will ring continuously after 5 minutes.
The panel, farmers and negators, and the house at large, greetings to you all. My name is John Baptist Arnitwe. I'm from Team St.Mary'S College Lugazi, and I'm today's first farmer. My dear judges, in cases whereby we have two options, ethics teach us that priority must be taken first. My dear judges, resolved, the development of renewable energy sources should take precedence over expanding oil and gas infrastructure is the motion of today. My role is going to define for you this motion. I would give us the parameters, the policy, the house, the time frame, and also start off our qualitative points and arguments, my dear judges. My dear judges, keywords in this debate, we have development. What does development mean, my dear judges? According to www.vocabulary.com, development refers to the act of improving something by expanding it, enlarging it, or refining it. Renewable energy resources, according to the same source of information, www.vocabulary.com, it means energy derived from natural sources that are replenished or at a higher rate than they are consumed, my dear judges. Taking precedence refers to something being considered more important than the other, my dear judges. Oil and gas sector refers to the building facilities, installations and equipment required by energy companies to run their operations. This is according to www.refinery.com, my dear judges. So this motion means that the improvement of these energy resources that can be replenished more than they are consumed should be considered more important than expanding oil and gas infrastructure, my dear judges. Our parameter of today is going to be Uganda. Why Uganda, my dear judges? It's going to be Uganda because according to Sector Brief Uganda, it says that Uganda has a lot of energy resources. For instance, it has 2,000 megawatts of hydroelectric power, 550 megawatts of geothermal, 50,000 of megawatts of biomass, my dear judges. And also, Uganda, the same country, has more than 21 oil and gas discoveries by this year, 2023. So we think Uganda is the most appropriate parameter for this debate. Our policy for today, how are we going to take precedence over this, my dear judges? As you say that taking precedence means something being considered more important than the other. It doesn't mean that the other thing is not important, no. It means that something is more important than the other. We are going to, the parliament is going to run a debate that will pass the directive that support towards the development of renewable energy sources should be taken more important than expanding the oil and gas infrastructure. This is going to include more funding to the renewable energy sources. It's going to include reducing cost of these renewable energy resources, my dear judges. Our house of today and the implementers of this, it's going to be the Ministry of Energy and Development in partnership with the Petroleum Authority of Uganda. They are going to make sure that the effort of government to support these renewable energy resources is more than expanding the gas and oil sector, my dear judges. My dear judges, we are going to take a period of 2 years. In the first year, we are going to first sensitize people about this policy, and the second year, the parliament will implement and pass this policy, my dear judges. Currently, There is both development of renewable energy resources and expansion of oil and gas sector in the country, my dear judges. So in a situation whereby these things are being done both ways and equally, we are saying that because of reasons you're going to give as team affirmative, one should be considered more important than the other, my dear judges. For instance, in Uganda currently, there is hydroelectric sector, which is the country's largest source of renewable energy in Uganda right now. And still, on the other hand, we have the Sinok international companies and many other companies that are developing infrastructure of oil and gas in the country. So meaning that there's both of them being done, my dear judges. My dear judges, so we want to make one more important than the other. We want to say that one is going to be considered first than the other, my dear judges. We have many reasons which are going to rely on things like reliability, sustainability, affordability, availability, and which one of these ones is more friendly than, is more environmental friendly than the other, my dear judges. With all that said, my second speaker is going to come and build more on today's case. I rest my case.
All right, the panel of judges, brilliant minds from either sides. Good morning to everybody. So in a crucial engagement where we're faced with the resolution that the development of renewable resources should take precedence over expanding oil and gas infrastructure. So what do we have to get from team affirmatives or team government of the day? In the very first incident, we are glad to experience to experience disheartenment due to the fact that team government claims that this is a policy debate, but that's too far away from the debate. This is a value debate that requires us to set comparison between renewable resources and then expanding oil and gas infrastructure. Which one should take a precedence? It is something that they fail to understand at the end of the day, and this one poses much of the gaps into their case. So what do we have to receive from them? They tell us that for them, they are, in their entire case, they're all aimed at conserving and maintaining the environment. But ladies and gentlemen, the very first question I would pose to August House: what is the major issue that is facing Uganda as the parameters we agree they have said? What is the major, or what is the key issue that is facing Uganda? So, and if at all at the end of the day we answer that question, we're glad to exercise that, to express that the key issue that is facing Uganda, or the challenge that is facing Uganda as a developing economy, I will take in my 3rd minute. The key issue that is facing Uganda is the crippling economy, ladies and gentlemen. And at the end of the day, if I told you to follow what team government is telling us by taking precedence or giving priority to renewable energy sources, shall we at the end of the day achieve what we want to achieve? Shall we get out of the crippling economy? Now, let's look at the current status. What is happening in Uganda as a developing economy. Ladies and gentlemen, if I to look at the recent ECOP program, that is East African Crude Oil Production, ladies and gentlemen, this program has already provided employment opportunities to over 1,000 Ugandans, and the project is estimated to provide employment opportunities to over 13,000. This is the report from the ECOP, the recent report from the ECOP, ladies and gentlemen. And if
Honorable,
I'll take you.
Honorable, you taking this as a precedence, is it something that is changing the status quo or not? Is it changing the status quo or not?
Well and good. If you to listen to my speech at the end, you get the answer. Ladies and gentlemen, I was still telling you of the development opportunities that we have already expressed from the crude oil production. That is the ECOP, ladies and gentlemen. And if I told you information, rest. If I told you to consider what they're telling us, the renewable resources, the hydropower, and the thermal, and the rest, shall we achieve the development opportunities that we're already getting out of the crude oil? And ladies and gentlemen, furthermore, ladies and gentlemen, if I to look at the fact that Uganda has a debt burden of over 73.8 trillion, this is according to Global Financial Report of 2023, ladies and gentlemen. And if at all, if we don't focus, or if we don't give a precedence to oil and expanding oil and gas infrastructure, how shall we be able to get out of this debt burden that we're already facing, ladies and gentlemen? And on the other hand, ladies and gentlemen, the World Bank report, the World Bank report of January 2023 shows that 45% of the Ugandans are below the poverty line. And ladies and gentlemen, if you are to look at the fact that now, thanks to the idea that we're having expanding oil and gas infrastructure, it is coming to answer or respond to the concern of the vulnerability of Ugandans being below the poverty line by providing them employment opportunities, which at the end of the day will help them to earn something that is sustainable. And then, ladies and gentlemen, the question, ladies and gentlemen, of the day that we are supposed to answer: if at all we don't give a precedence to oil and gas infrastructure, how shall we be able to escape the crippling economy that we're facing? And at the end of the day, the reasons as to why, or the substantive views that we present as team opposition, the reason as to why we should take a precedence over expanding oil and gas infrastructure. Number one, we're looking at sustaining and eschewing the crippling economy. Then secondly, we're looking at the sustainability in expanding the employment opportunities. Then third, we're also looking at having the energy density. Ladies and gentlemen, we must agree the fact that the energy density that is coming out of oil and gas infrastructure
is high compared to what is coming out of the renewable sources. What they must understand that these renewable sources are reliant on weather sources, and at the end of the day, they depend on weather sources, they keep changing. So East-West Center behind, we believe that expanding oil and gas infrastructure should take a precedence over renewable resources. Thank you.
This is the High School Crossfire. We'll be back in a minute.